All right, welcome to the first episode of Rough Notes. I am your host for today. They call me E because they can't pronounce the rest of my name. I'll pass it on to Marcus.
Okay, hey, I am Marcus, your other co-host for the show. And yeah, I will pass it off to our good friend Mitch.
Hey, this is Mitch. I guess I'm the third co-host. I feel like co-host implies it's like two people, but there's three of us.
Yeah, it's close enough. We can all be co-hosts. And this podcast is going to be our rough takes on music. We are going to be sharing a lot of different ideas, but the first one that we got for today, because it is the end of the year, is discuss our top 3 songs, but also our top 3 artists that we listened to this year. And then we'll kind of see if there's a conversation from there, or if anyone has any questions.
Wait, Eduardo, we gotta talk about how we know each other.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I feel like that can be like its own thing. I feel like that's like that's like a whole backstory. There's a good mystery in things, you know? Like you never start the story in the beginning. You always start the story in the
So
middle.
you're saying
Media's red.
episode 1 is just, hey, we have no credentials. Listen to us talk about what we like to listen to.
I'm down with that,
And then
actually.
episode 2 is like, oh, hey, this is who we are.
I'm down with that. We have
Okay,
no credentials.
do you think my credentials justify me talking about music?
Exactly. It's like, what does it
Did you
matter?
did you look at my Spotify, my music rewind?
Wait, what? Okay, what app were you on, Eduardo?
I
Is
was
that
using
also
YouTube
YouTube?
Music.
Okay.
And before we begin with like the artists, you got to get on the YouTube trend. They do not do a yearly rewind. They do 4 seasonal rewind.
Oh.
So every 3 months you get one, and they like do the same thing, but it's every 3 months, and it feels way better than like a whole year because so much changes in a year that there's just different, things that like the music you listen to in January is probably going to be the top one because if you liked it,
Okay, no, but like
it's had more
that's
months.
that's literally the case for me, Eduardo. Is like my top song got the most plays in January, and I have not thought about it in like 9 months.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like 3 months is good because like an album really just stays with you for like a few months. You don't listen to like a whole album for the whole year. And if it is, then your top tracks are just gonna be songs from that album.
That's some credentials right there.
Yeah, I didn't have to give my backstory. People know. People know I'm legit.
YouTube music user, bro.
All right, who would like to kick us off?
I think since I started, I would like to go second.
All right, I can kick it off. To everybody's surprise, I would say the genre that has dominated my playlist has been fucking underground rap, and ain't nothing more underground than Benny the Butcher's John P's Caddy, according to YouTube Music, it says I played this song like 43 times, which I swear it's probably been more. Like, I guess what initially captured me about this song was definitely for freaking J. Cole's verse on that. Like his whole rhyme scheme that he has on that is insane. He is losing his mind on that track, coupled with the way that the sample is on that beat. I forget there's like hella debates I've seen about how that sample works, but some people are saying that like part of it is in Spanish, like the vocal chops on that beat, and then other parts are in English, which is maybe partly why I can't fully understand anything, but that could just be me. That could just be conjecture. But yeah, that's definitely been up there as one of my most played songs and favorite songs. Do y'all have any thoughts on the songs, or have y'all heard the song?
Yeah, I did my homework. Damn, Marcus. I feel like it reminds me of like an older beat. I feel like it doesn't feel like new or like fresh or like maybe what I'm like used to hearing in like modern hip hop, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm catching your drift.
Yeah, I feel like Benny the Butcher, like, and his style is kind of like what you're saying, Mitch. It's very like throwback
Mhm.
gangster kind of sounding rap.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know, I feel like this is, like, not my favorite song or, like,
Oh
favorite
yeah.
hip hop song I've listened to, but we can talk more about my hot take style later.
Oh no, I mean if you got hot takes on this, I want them. You know, I want
No,
the.
I
You
feel like
know.
it was, like, lukewarm, like, I'd go
Mhm.
back and listen to it again for you, but, like, probably not of my own accord.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, that's why we're here, right? We're here because we have different opinions on music. But yeah, no, I get that. Like, it definitely does have like the old, like freaking '90s throwback to like boom bap hip hop, especially because like Alchemist produced the track. So with any Benny the Butcher, Conway, or just Griselda person in general, you are getting a. I mean, sometimes they switch it up. Sometimes they go over a trap beat that has more modern sounds, just to be like, hey, we can go over trap beats that have more modern sounds. But that's not this track. So they definitely went back. They definitely went '90s type feel, and that's not for everybody. But for the people who do enjoy that style, I think this song fucks. Yeah. Next song on my list would be Denzel Curry's Walking. This song has both of those elements, right? Like prior to the beat switch is definitely way more like boom bappy vocal sample, like something that you would hear in the '90s. But then as soon as that shit drops, it changes the tempo and the drums entirely to be something more reminiscent of like a trap bop that you might hear today. And for me, why this song's been on repeat, I'm not gonna lie. The flow that Denzel Curry hits on that second verse is fire, and there's not much to say. It's just the walking song, bro. Like whenever I gotta walk somewhere, this is on repeat. Whenever I'm like, bro, I don't know if I can keep going. Like I'm feeling down. This is the song. You just gotta keep. Sometimes you just gotta keep walking. You gotta keep going.
Okay, I when you, like, wrote about this song in, like, our chat, I was like, "Oh my god, like, this is gonna be such a hype song," and then I feel like it started playing, and I was, like,
Hmm.
immediately let
No, yeah, okay.
It definitely got I was like, "There has to be, like, a beat switch or, like,
Hmm.
something in here," because it definitely started out more of that, like, old school vibe, and it did switch, but I just wanted it to be so much more of, like, a powerhouse in the
Oh
beginning
no.
than it was. And I was like, "Oh, like, Marcus walks to this song," he's, like, going places, and then I was like, "It's kinda slow."
If you remember, Mitch, I like to spend hours walking. So while I may be going places, I may not always be going there very fast.
That's what I'm, like, trying to imagine, like, Marcus power walking, like, I feel like that's the image I had in my head, and then I was like, "Oh, that is not this song."
Now, this song bangs so hard. Uh, Even the beginning. I know it's kind of slow, but it's like it like draws you in, and then with the beat switch and then the energy, it goes crazy. It's such a good song. Part of a super snubbed album.
Mhm.
People are not talking enough about this album. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and to add to that snubbing, you hear side note, Jack Harlow's album got nominated? Crazy. Anyway, you know. uh, anyway, yeah, no, I do. I feel like the storytelling on the album's also pretty good, in the bars that he is spitting throughout the entire song, like that hook and how he delivers it is pretty fire, in my opinion. The wordplay is there. Trying to remember what he says. It was a Celtics bar, which probably hit harder when I still lived in Boston. And I guess, for the final song on my list, we got Kung Fu Kenny, Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale, and the small footer, N95, fucking mask off moment. 3 words sum up this song for me, this shit hard. It's just it's just a bob. It's just it's just like not much to say. Not much to say. It just goes hard. It bangs. What were your thoughts on N95, Mitch?
I mean, so, like, we all listened to this,
Hmm.
like, album together. I don't know, like, when it came out, right? Like, it was, like, 3 of us, and like Hardy in the Discord just like playing through the whole thing. And like this, in my opinion, is like the best song on your top 3.
Mhm.
But it's just the vibe.
For me, this song is pretty good because it's also one of my top songs. And when I first listened to it, I was so excited because it first started off with like the like hi-hats, right?
Mhm.
And then when he started using that like the year 3005 organ piano synthesizer,
Ding, ding, ding,
dun,
ding, ding.
yeah, I was like, damn, take me to wherever this RoboCop ass beat is going. This sounds so good. It's so good. I hope that his whole album had this same sonic feel to it, but it felt like only like half the songs had this kind of like I was saying it then. I'm like, this if he kept this sound, this would have been parallel to the Yeezus album, where it became more like
Ooh.
scrunchy and like futuristic-y and like industrial, which sucks that he didn't like keep the whole Sonic theme going. But when I heard this song, it's like one of the first few tracks, right, of the album.
Like second or third.
Yeah, when I heard that, I'm like, damn, he has somehow kept developing his sound to get crazier and more experimental each album. Sadly, it didn't stay like this for the whole album, but this song gave me that hope when I first heard it. I'm like, dude, we're in for classic, maybe not revolutionary, but definitely going to inspire like a different sound of rap for like the upcoming years, you know?
Mm.
I don't remember if it was like this. I want to say it was this song. And then I can't remember if it was like other stuff on his album too, or one of Marcus's other 2 songs. But like the song is also just like a loop. Like I feel like when I was like listening through to like the songs that you guys had, um, like I would play it on Spotify and like Spotify would like automatically loop it. And I would have to be like, wait, like am I at the beginning of the song? Or is that like
What?
I was like, "Is there more to this?" I'm like, "Is this like an 8-minute song or am I at the beginning again?" I think it was
Oh,
this one, but I'm not sure.
that's interesting. I don't think it was N95 because I feel like there are definitely like very well defined sections like in
Maybe it's
everywhere
not.
there. Like the hi
Maybe I'll just
hats.
I'm just gonna edit this whole part out if I'm wrong. So
I was like, we got the hi hats. We got when the organ comes in. We got that piano like ding 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 ding.
well,
Right,
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out after.
like. But I know what you mean. When shit's a perfect loop, yes, you can get lost in it. It's funny you say that because I feel like that. I felt that about like a good amount of your music. Bitch.
Well, that's
Like,
'cause, like that's, like, when I'm in the zone. I just,
mhm.
like, play like, ugh. Well, I'll talk about it more in my
Yeah,
section, but
I got you. I
I
got
am
you.
that, like, annoying asshole
I
who
feel you.
plays the same song on
I do
loop
that
for,
too.
like, 4 days straight, and then I'm like, "Enough of that. Give me
Hello,
something new."
that neurodivergent energy. You know, I vibe with it because I am. So yeah, no, I understand, Mitch. I get it. Yeah, I guess those are all of my my songs. Honorable mention would be, although they've only been played recently because I only found out about them recently, would be "Oh Shit" by Injury Reserve. That's a fucking banger, bro. That shit goes fucking hard. Christian showed me that. Christian showed me Injury Reserve in general. And then Seventh Thrive by Killer Mike off his rap music project. Pre Run the Jewels, but sounds so Run the Jewels-y. And yeah, those are my songs.
Cool.
Those are 3 amazing songs. Quick thing is that I had switched from Spotify to YouTube Music this year, and so half of the plays are essentially lost in my thing. But I would definitely have the Benny the Butcher song higher because it's so good. But my 3 tracks, because I switched, are all just Kendrick songs.
I
And let me
noticed.
explain
I
why.
noticed.
I switched somewhere around the summer, like around April, Mayish, and this album came out like mid-May. So I've been listening to it the longest, and so it would have the most plays.
Mm. What do you think some of the tracks would have been if you hadn't switched?
Wait, I feel like let's talk about the tracks first.
Okay.
All right. The tracks number 3 is Silent Hill, Kendrick and Kodak, because I just like I like the song minus the very end of Kodak's verse because he reuses the Bodak Yellow flow. He reuses it, and I'm like, I know he's trying to go like a little harder for a Kendrick album, but you're reusing like your most popular flow. I feel like maybe you could have just tried a different flow there or something. But the song, it's so fun. And like I said, if it kept this sound of like a little bit more experimental electronically elements, like he uses like the little pew pew sound effect, this album would have been so incredibly amazing. And so that's why this is like one of my top songs.
Yeah, I feel like everything, like given it's all the same artist, so it's all gonna like have the same vibe, especially coming from the same album. But definitely the top 3, I really enjoyed listening to again. I think your top song was my favorite, though.
So, what I've noticed about you, especially when it comes to this album, Eduardo, is I feel like you seem to like a lot of the production choices, which I definitely feel have been like influenced by Baby Keem. Because like I feel like Silent Hill definitely like when it comes to like some of the like the sounds and like the 808s and the groove that it sits in are like very similar to what Baby Keem would do off of his own project. Similar with like N95 too. I was like, yo, this straight up this sounds like a Baby Keem track, dog. But like it definitely sounds more polished because I feel like he likes rawer shit a lot of the time. But like that was the first thing after hearing your choices and hearing how you gushed over N95. I'm like, you know, you might like Baby Keem as well.
Okay, so if if this would have been like Spotify and YouTube Music, um, Baby King would have probably been on my top artist because I've been listening to his stuff um a lot as well. And you are 100% right. This is the Baby Keem wave right now. If Kendrick did not have that influence, it would all sounded like his more like what's it called? Like self-critiquing part of the album,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like his production, where it's like boom bappy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been a different type of album. But I feel like because he mixed in this like stuff, it was these sounds that I'm like, this is new, this is crazy. Um, so let me just bring up the next song because it kind of has that same like raw feel that you were talking about, which is Mr. Morale.
Mm-hmm.
They have that like those chants in the beginning that get you hyped up, and then Kendrick's weird gasps make the song so good. Like the build up to the song into like those drums. When I heard those drums, I'm like, damn, this is. I can't put my finger on what song I had. I was trying to compare right now, and I just blanked. But the drums are so like heavy hitting when it starts with like the like choir chants that it's this song is like for me it's one of those like super hyped. They
Yeah.
build you up. You need to close out a set in the gym. You play this song.
Oh no, yeah, that would go hard in the gym for sure. I think I remember I listened to this track with like a couple of my other friends and they were like, "Oh man, this has like cute the way that they program the drums are similar to how like a metal or like people who play rock would program their drums for this specific track." And I definitely feel like it has more of like an industrial feel to it than a lot of the other songs on this album. And the way he comes in on this track too at the beginning there, that flow does go hard. So I cannot imagine not being hyped to this. Mitch, how many sets were you able to rep out to your Chloe Ting workout after hearing this track, my friend?
Oh my god, I haven't done Chloe Ting in so long. I also listened to these like tonight, so I had already worked out. But noted for my workout tomorrow.
All right, let me close out my section with the final song. This song I have been playing because I too broke my phone this year.
That makes sense. That makes sense, man. If you
And
know,
so,
you know.
and this song has been keeping my spirits up. It has been keeping my spirits up the entire semester. And I think it's also my top one because it's like one of the first tracks on the album that I re-added because I keep like summer, fall, winter playlists. And this was the first one that I dragged in there. And so with my alarm clock, it plays the first track of my playlist, and it's Rich Spirit.
Mm.
And so every single morning, I wake up to this song because I don't know how to shuffle it on my alarm clock. So, so I always get woken up, but it's good because the song starts off like kind of mellow. It's like a little soothing piano in the beginning. Dun dun. So it's good to kind of hear that. But the thing that I like about the song is that he starts um like more West Coasty vibes, and he starts the like his verse on the three instead of the on like the one or the four. Like you hear like three big notes. It's like first long note, second long note, third long note, and then just as soon as that's gonna finish, he starts the rapping, which is like just an odd time because when the rest of the song starts to develop, um, you're already on that like weird rhythm that I like because it's West Coast. It just sounds to me it just sounds more intricate and more interesting that it's not on the one or the four.
Mm. It's got that
That it wakes me up.
it's got that swing to it. I always say if you can't like pretend you're crip walk into it, it's not West Coast. But you can definitely do that to this. So it is indeed West Coast. I'm not gonna lie though, not a fan of this song because I am an ugly mofo, bitch. I am not attractive.
What?
So
No, this is like to me, like I feel like I listened to this back
I was messing. I was messing. I was
and I was
joking.
like, this is
Feel free. I was joking.
this is the hype song. If you have low self-esteem, go listen to this song right now. Like pause our podcast. I don't even care that I haven't talked about my music. Go listen to this song.
Tell me more why this song spoke to you, bitch.
It's just that like, bitch, I'm attractive. I'm like, oh yes, like that's what I need right now.
Mm, I don't know. For me, the song that does that is Mike Dime's Paparazzi, where he says, they said, "Who are you?" and started laughing. I ain't embarrassed. I'm a fucking bad bitch. When he says that, I'm like, I don't know why, but it
Ooh,
hits. But it hits though.
that does hit.
It's so hard. I can't remember a single other song from the fucking line from the song, but that line goes so hard. Um, but yeah, no, I'm messing. It's a solid song. It's a good song. It's catchy. It's a bop. It's a
It is a
vibe.
bop. It slaps.
I don't know if it's like because like when I think bop, I think like super hype. I feel like this is more like I'm a dance in my living room
That's true. That's true. That
type of
can still
song,
be a bop. It's a living room bop.
Yeah.
It's not like uh, an in the club bop. Maybe. Well, it could be an in the club bop.
Mm, you can play me in the club.
This feels like you can play it anywhere but the club because it's more of like a spiritual one for
Mhm.
you. Like you you
Mhm.
you can feel the top of your game grocery shopping to this song. You I bike to school, so while I'm biking, I'm swerving around listening to this. It's such a like it's just like a groovy song. You know, you don't really play this in the club, but you put it just to vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
But those are mine. So I want to hear yours, Mitch.
Money Mitch. Eminem, baby.
So I have a drastically different hodgepodge of songs from Marcus and Eduardo. I guess we'll go like most trashy to least trashy. So we'll go number 3 first.
Wait,
Um,
what? Okay, I have problems right off the bat. He's the most trashy. All right, let me hear.
Yeah,
Let me
that
hear
is the
you. Let
hot
me hear
take
you out.
already.
Let me hear you out. Let me hear you
okay.
out.
Okay. So number 3 on my list is "Say It Right" by Nelly Furtado, which came out who knows, like God who knows when, and then like made a
Like the late
resurgence.
2000s.
Yeah, that's like old though. That's like old. I
Timberland's
think
never old.
that definitely came out like early 2000s. Like no one. When was the last time Nelly Furtado put out a song?
He doesn't need to. When she
Like a
made
decade.
that
True,
album with
true,
Timberland,
true.
it's a classic, bro.
It is a bop. Um, but yeah, this like there's like a sped up remix of this song that like made a like resurgence
Of
on like
course.
TikTok and Instagram Reels, and I don't have a TikTok. I want that to be known, but I do consume way too many Instagram Reels, and sometimes it influences the music that I listen to. So I just have the regular version, which is also a bop, but sometimes
Mm.
I listen to the sped up one. It's really hype. But yeah, just like an old classic, like early 2000s vibe.
So Mitch, I got so many things I'm gonna say right off bat. So you said I don't have a TikTok. I use Instagram Reels. I want to just keep it real for you. That means you have a TikTok. You just don't have the algorithm. Like
That's true.
I
Okay,
too used
I
to
basically
have a TikTok when I was on YouTube Shorts, and it's like most of these are just reposts from TikTok with a
True.
shittier algorithm. So you definitely on TikTok, my dog. Um,
but not
uh,
officially.
but not officially. Um, Secondly, yeah, what you said sped up, I'm like, yeah, that's TikTok. I feel like most, if not all, sped up remixes
Oh yeah.
of older songs is like, oh my god, yeah, it's obviously TikTok did that. But thirdly, I mean, Timberland was on fire in the mid, like basically that whole 2000 decade, right? Like he produced tracks for like I don't know, like Nelly Furtado, Justin Timberlake, fucking One Republic. Like, I feel like if you were a pop band that had Timberland, fucking Missy Elliott, like, like if you were just an artist who had Timberland produced for you during that time period, you are going to have a classic that stands the test of time. And I feel like Say It Right, freaking Man Eater, even
Promiscuous.
Promiscuous, yeah, like
Oh,
those shits still go. Like they still bang. Yeah, no, I would 100 put on Maneater just for the fucking drums. 'Cause I love the drums on that fucking track.
mhm.
Um, yeah, what do you think, Eduardo?
Yeah, I don't know why you said this is the most trashy. I don't know why
'Cause
you
it
had to
is.
connotate it that way because
Mhm.
this song bang.
Okay, but it bangs, but, like, in a, like, middle schooler, like, I'm dancing, like, on my bed in my room kind of way.
I think it just takes you to that place.
Yeah, yeah, it's very dissociative and calming, but at the same time, like like I can't really explain the emotional ethereal state you get in when you hear this song.
Like this is
Um,
like an iconic timepiece. You know where you were. Me personally, I never listened to these songs growing up because I didn't listen to like American pop music at this age.
I
Uh,
feel like, honestly, like, this song, like, I feel like I could not have, like, named you like, I feel like I was sure I've, like, heard it before, but, like, for the life of me, I never would have found this song had it not, like, had a resurgence.
oh nah.
I was gonna say that's why this is a timepiece because I've never heard this song before, but when I played it, I'm like, oh, this sounds like the 2000s, like the
Oh, yeah.
like like it has a very distinct sound, and without me ever listening to the song, 'cause I honestly don't think I've ever listened to a song except for today, I can tell like you know, the exact, not maybe not the exact year, but like the exact day that this was produced.
That day.
The exact date, March 23rd.
I feel like that's everything with the Timbo touch, right? Like it just it screams 2000s. But yeah, I wouldn't say this is trashy. I feel like they're just older songs that you might not go back to until you're reminded that they exist because there's just so much stuff. But then when you go back and listen, you're like, oh wait, no, this is still dope. This is still pretty.
Oh yeah,
This is a vibe still. Yeah.
yeah. So number 2 on my list, second most trashy. I'm still gonna call it trashy.
God damn it.
Is a song from Euphoria. Is
Mm.
that shit was dark and edgy, so you know I watched it. So Forever by Labrinth. And this one is just instrumental. I feel like so this song and then also my top song are like kind of just like instrumentals. Like there's no lyrics. There's some vocals, but like really no lyrics, which I feel like is very strange for me. But these were definitely songs that I like just had on repeat. I feel like while I was working. And so they're kind of just mindless.
Mhm. Well, can I ask you this? What was the state of mind when you initially found the song that you felt like you were in, or like the place you were in when you first found the song?
Oh god, I would love to know. I don't even know when I like watched Euphoria. I'm wondering if this song is like on my liked songs playlist. Oh, it is. Can I find out when I added it? I think I can on my computer. Give me a minute. You guys can chat.
All right, for my opinion on this song, I feel like this is the trashiest one.
Agreed. I mean, like it is. It's funny when Mitch was making that loop comment. This was the song that stuck out to me as like, yeah. I mean, I like Labrinth as a singer. I feel like he's incredibly talented as an artist, as a vocalist. I've seen him perform at Afropunk. I didn't know him. I was like, this boy can sing. Um, but uh, but yeah, this specific song is incredibly repetitive, and I definitely feel like it's not just Euphoria, but this is TikTok. So I might have gotten bored of it a bit quicker than most people because I feel like I've seen so many fucking TikToks of it being used already.
Mhm.
Um, uh, and I feel like what is it like? It's like a 2 minute loop, maybe
It's
two and a
short.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it. I think they extend it for 8 minutes because it's supposed to be a score for the show, right? So I'm assuming set to the show, like it works really well with the show, but independently, I'm like, I might use it for a sample though. I might like see if I can flip that. That was definitely one of the things I liked about some of the music choices you had. Is like Mitch likes listening to a lot of things that could be sample ready. So send send me more music because I definitely don't. I definitely like my drums being there, which is problematic for samples. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
what you think, Eduardo?
Yeah, I just feel like I'm gonna get charged for some sort of criminal activity when I listen to this song. It feels wrong for me to listen to this one. Um,
It feels
I
underage.
I don't know what it is. It just makes me feel kind of weird. Like I listen to it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's like walking to get groceries at night. You know, it's like you know
Mm.
something's gonna happen if you're like not careful with this. That's how I feel when I listen to this song.
Well, I gotta show you another song then
Oh my god.
later.
The I thought this one was the trashiest, but I thought the Nelly was like this one.
Yeah. This one is on my like songs playlist from like February 27th. This is also earlier in the year. And I said my top song is like from January. So I don't know when Nelly Furtado was from, but I think it also might have
2006.
been like earlier in the year. Well, thanks, Market.
I realized it
um,
right after I said it.
yeah. But I feel like a lot of these, like I just get stuck in these loops and then like it just completely ruins like my Spotify Wrapped. There's one other I feel like in the Euphoria, like, soundtrack, like, I don't like any of the songs that have, like, words in them. Like I just don't want the words.
Yeah, I mean, words would interact the drug high that every single student on that show is going through. So, you know.
Yeah. And then my top song is "It Would Feel Like This" by Girl in Red, and I literally forgot this song existed. And thought I know another song by Girl in Red that like has actual words to it. And so I was like, "Oh, it's that song. That's interesting." And then I like listened back to it and I was like, "Oh, it's not that song." So but this one is also I feel like this one I've already forgotten. Oh, "We Fell in Love in October" is the other Girl in Red song that I was thinking of. I've
Oh,
like
that's what
completely
happened to you. That's crazy.
No.
Oh,
I
okay,
fell in
never
love
mind.
earlier than October.
Aw.
Or like ish. I guess around that time. Shut up, Marcus. Yeah, but this one I feel like this one is like very sad. I feel like this is sadder than the Labyrinth one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Some nice piano.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yo, this song sounds like what like disappointment sounds like. This is like the soundtrack to disappointment. This is just like, yo, I had all of these hopes and dreams building up, but then they just slowly got crushed away to me due to the expense of time and like real world responsibilities slowly sapping them away from me. Which makes the title "It Would Feel Like This" pretty apt. I feel like that was pretty fucking on point for something that instrumental. Like, yeah. Nah, yeah, this song is it's not that fun.
I don't know how you guys got disappointment out of this. I felt like this was you know when you beat like the final boss of a game and then like the end
Like
credits
the
just
end
start
credits.
rolling? Yeah. And you're like walking back home because you just defeated the boss. That's what I thought this would feel like. You know? It felt
Interesting.
like victory. I'm just kind of walking home. I'm all beaten up, but I won. Making
You
my way
barely
back to my
bubbling home.
throne.
Oh my god.
Making my way downtown.
Walking fast. Walking slow.
All right, so those are our top songs of the year. Let us know which songs you guys listen to the most. If you guys listen to some of our songs, let us know which ones you prefer. Please tell Mitch that her trashy meter is
Or
a little
trashometer.
needs a little tune. Yeah, the trashometer. Please make sure to follow along as we kind of figured this out. So thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you. And yes, your trashometer was trash, dog.
Oh my god. Hey, if anyone if anyone knows Eduardo can shuffle his alarm clock, let us know.
Yeah, yeah, please. I've been listening to that song every morning.
Rich nigga, broke clock. Bro.